part of a long chain of music venues that stretch back to Power Plant Live, which you're going to be able to see here in just a moment. Here in the foreground, this is the 7-foot knoll house. Used to be about 10 miles in the opposite direction from where we're headed. And it's a lighthouse museum dedicated to the lighthouse men and women. We've been working on the Chesapeake Bay for construction. Now today, of course, a lot of the lighthouses we have in the bay are automated, but they weren't always that way. And there's a lot of history about what all went on in the storms here in the bay. Now we're coming about to Pier 4 and Pier 3. If anybody's ever been to Washington, D.C., the mall in Washington, you know that they don't have an aquarium. They have the zoo, but they don't have an aquarium down in D.C. It's because we have the National Aquarium right here in our harbor. Pier 4 and Pier 3. Now the plan for Pier 4 is to actually get, not get rid, but to move our dolphins down to Florida. That's the long-term plan. They don't do dolphin shows anymore. They do dolphin behavior shows. Long-term plan is to get our dolphins down to a sanctuary in Florida. We're going to get them this awesome, just great teaching experience that they want to have over there. But anybody who's seen documentaries like Blackfish, you know that it's not necessarily so healthy for animals to be in confined space for long periods of time. It's not so good for their health. It's not so good for their mental health. The National Aquarium is aware of that, so they want to. Now, I mentioned a previous story to this young gentleman right here. My family, my mom in particular, she grew up in one of those neighborhoods. She grew up in a German neighborhood here in the city of Baltimore. Made it into Schneider. Very, very German. But my grandparents had these stories of coming down here to the harbor in the 60s, in the 50s, in the 40s, when this was just, there was a McCormick factory over here, but everything else you got to see was a dirt lot. There were some factories there, it was 2 piers. We used to have Pier 2, which was right here, but it was all dirty, all gross. My grandfather's got stories about coming down here to the harbor and scooping watermelon on the fruit barges that used to be down right here in the inner harbor. And the only reason I bring that up is if you sit here on the Sea Dog, you can see from the Science Center all the way down to Pier 4, and all of that stuff here today. So it's shops, it's museums, it's World Trade Centers, it's boats, it's all awesome stuff, and it's all thanks to the gentleman you guys can see maybe just past the Inner Harbor, the Inner Harbor Spirit, that iron statue over there, Mr. William Donald Schaefer. He was our mayor in 1978 through to 1984. He was also governor of Maryland for a time, and he was the guy who saw all this stuff. He saw power plant over there as more than just a power plant, as a place that could one day hold a Barnes & Noble. He saw all of this stuff, and he thought it was going to be this great place, and turned it into what you